So here we are again. We've now reached the southern end, southern tip, southern head of the reservoir, and you'll see the reservoir dam is just behind me there. Still plenty of people out walking today. Things to look out for when you reach this point. Obviously the head of the reservoir just there. Now we're heading off up through the woods. This actually forms part of the National Cycle Network. It's a steady incline. It's firm underfoot, so even in the winter months when it's wet, it's still easily manageable. It's not a problem. Hello. Still lots of people out and about today, which is great. It's good to see so many people out and about. How are we doing there? So we're on the National Cycle Network now, and we're going up through the woods. When we get to the top of the short incline, which is about, I think it's about a quarter of a mile, something like that, not too far, we'll join High Lane, which is it's an access track that runs from Sheepwash all the way across to Square Corner, which is on the Cleveland Way, and it's quite popular with walkers, cyclists, off-roaders. I've seen a few people in their 4x4s taking on the descent at the northern end of High Lane, which descends down to Sheepwash. There's loads of little tracks and paths that go off in different directions as well, as you can see just behind me here. I'm almost tempted to wander off down that little tunnel of trees. Isn't that amazing? It's clearly waymarked, as explained. There you go. But we're going this way, up the hill. So, my friends, hope life is treating you all kind and fair. You're getting everything you deserve from life, or everything you need or want during these very strange times. We'll look back, hopefully people will look back on these videos that I'm creating in many years to come, and they'll say, oh, do you remember 2020? What a year that was. You couldn't write it, could you? You couldn't make it up. You couldn't massage it or leverage it into any sci-fi novel, could you? Coronavirus and COVID. So sad. But is it nature's way of challenging us, leveling us? I don't know. I'm going to avoid that subject because it could be marginally controversial. So we're going to get on and enjoy the walk as we head on up the climb. Let me just swing around so you can see where we're going. That's where we're going, my friends, up through the trees. And that's where we've been. That's where we've come from, just down there. So, to give you an idea of the bearings, we've left the car park and we head south along the banks of Cod Beck to the reservoir. We've walked along the west bank of the reservoir, north to south, until you reach the reservoir dam. Once you reach the reservoir dam, continue to head west, up the bank, through the trees, through the evergreens and the pines, until you reach a clearing in the trees, which was cleared a few years ago. You'll see the natural light coming in behind me there. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I've lived in Yorkshire a few years now. Very different to my life in London. Very different. Could I go back to London? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think I could afford to go back to London. Not with the house prices back there. So, let me swing around. There we go, my friends. Look at that. 360 degrees of the North Yorkshire moors right in front of you, from the comfort of your living room as well, if you're watching this while you're sat at home having a cheeky brew or maybe a cheeky afternoon drink or two. So I'm going to cut this one off now. I need to be vigilant because there's a bit of log clearing going on up here. You can just see behind me, just in the distance there, there's a log fella. So need to keep my wits about me, make sure they know I'm here. Don't want to be carted off with the logs, do I? So I'll be back in a little while, and I hope you're enjoying the walk so far. Let's keep going.